Bad time to drink coffee right there at the start. Hi, to anyone watching this. You're watching this live from Gauntlet Con 2019. That's an online convention. Yes, an online convention for tabletop role-playing games. There's been quite a number of games run so far. Some cool panels, workshops. We're in like day 3 because this started on a Thursday, which is ridiculous. But yeah, getting to the swing of things. What you're watching is a game of the Sprawl. Hold on, book here. The Sprawl. There we go. By Hamish Cameron. It is a mission-based Power Bit Apocalypse game of cyberpunk dystopian nightmares. So think classic 80s and 90s cyberpunk tropes. You got your mirror shades, your those weird Blade Runner umbrellas that have lights as the handles. The sprawling cityscape. I mean, you can see it from over here. Yeah, nice sprawling cityscape. All that fun stuff. But we're also using a campaign frame from Codex. Here, look at that. This book, this thick beauty of a book. We're using a campaign frame from the Chrome issue. I've got a bookmark here. Chrome-rot.exe, written by Fred Bednarski. You can check that out. There'll be a link down below to check out all that stuff. And yeah, so we're just gonna come in, do a mission, and come out and play to find out, have fun. I don't know if you can have fun. Well, I guess the nice thing with doing this role-playing game is you can just jump in and out of a cyberpunk dystopia and then go back to our cyberpunk dystopia. But anyway, we'll try to have fun along the way. So before we get into character creation and whatnot, and I explain kind of more about what exactly Chrome Rot is and whatnot, let's introduce kind of our players, people playing here, so that everyone gets to know everyone. I know I've played with everyone on this table. I can't assume the same, but maybe I will. Well, I'll assume that everyone is great because I played with everyone before and I know they're great. So I guess so what I want to is for all to introduce yourselves, like names, pronouns. Do you have anything you want to plug, like anything you're involved with or anything you think is really cool? Do so. If not, that's totally fine. I'm going to go by the order of, let's see. Oh, folks have inputted themselves in the character keeper. So I'm just going to go by that order from left to right. So I'll start with you, Horst.
So I'm Horst. I have people drilling holes into my apartment at the moment, so I'm keeping it short. I have nothing to plug, so let's go over to the next person.
Cool. Then the aforementioned next person is Darren.
That's true. My name is Darren. I am here. There were very late parties last night, like all around me, so I'm like a little slow to start today because I went to bed very late. Let's see. Oh, I'm writing this game Hilton Blade, which is basically a love letter to mecha anime. I am running it this weekend at 7 p.m. Eastern time. We had our first session yesterday. It was great. There's a psychic who can hear people's thoughts, which is fantastic. That's it.
Nice. All right. Anything you plug, I'm gonna put the link below for folks to check out. I guess you'll check out probably a link of the AP. If there's a recorded version of it. There are recorded versions of Hilton Blade out there. I'll probably just link those or link Darren's YouTube channel so you can check that out. So up next, Steven, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Steven. He, him, pronouns he, him, and I don't have anything to plug, so I think that's good.
Cool. Thanks very much, Steven. And last but not the least, Rob, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Rob. My pronouns are he, him. Not much to plug. I have started streaming games again on Mixer. So I go by Treb Rudahan on there. At the moment, it's mostly Like Everybody, The Outer Worlds, because that just came out. So.
Hell yeah. There'll be a link down below for all that stuff. So, okay. So we got to know our players. Oh, I should introduce myself. I should have done that. There's a name there, so I don't have to do it. My name is Leandro. I use he, him pronouns. I guess if you're watching this, I don't need to plug anything since you're watching a thing I'm running. I do have a podcast out next week. It's a short 8-episode actual play miniseries, accidental recording of a Fall of Magic campaign. It's called Flight of Magic. Check that out. I'll put a link down below. Yeah, one of my friends was like, let's just record this for fun, and it's like, hey, let's make a podcast out of this with like original music and whatnot. So there we go. I'll put a link down below for that. All right, so hold on. Close this window there. It's making noise. Before we get into the game proper, I want to talk about the safety tools we have for this game. First off, we do have a round of lines and veils in the character keeper. Just a reminder, folks, lines are things that won't be crossed, just won't show up in the fiction at all. It's not negotiable. Veils are things that can happen in fiction, but we're not gonna like concentrate on them. You know, either we fast forward over them or it just happens off screen. Like it's not gonna happen. We're also using the X card for this game. Basically, if we do roll into a scene where folks feel uncomfortable for any reason, and any reason's fine, and no one needs to explain what that reason is, whether it's a name or like a scenario or something specific. Again, they don't need to explain. They say you can say they want to X card that either on the chat, or you don't make the symbol on the video, just make an X here, or on the roll for your party, there's a button there. I might ask some questions on what's being X carded, but no one gets the question. The use of the card, if the card is used, it's fine. We'll roll back and try something else. And finally, we have an open door policy. If folks feel the need to step away from the table for any reason, again, any reason's fine, whether there's an emergency you need to take care of, you're more tired in your thought and you need to like just take a break, or you really need to go. For instance, this is my recurring thing, you drank more than half your coffee before the game has even started, and nature takes its course. It happens, and we'll pause the game. Doesn't matter if, like, I don't know, we're in the middle of a scene where 10 security guards have you at gunpoint and you're holding, like, I don't know, some sort of nuclear football device, and things are so tense and the roll can just make things worse, and someone needs to go pee. We're going to pause the game at any point. That's completely fine. All right. So I guess I should explain exactly what the hell chrome rot is. Oh, sorry. No, when I said nuclear football, it's like a no. I'm confusing two things. There is a nuclear football which has nuclear codes in a briefcase, and a briefcase bomb. It's either one or the other. Sorry, I have a tendency to argue with the chat. Well, not argue, because the people in the chat are my players and they're great. All right, so I guess to better explain chrome rot, let's go through like just setting up characters in this world and whatnot. So we're gonna go through like a speeded up process of character creation. So, but the first thing we're gonna do is each of you is gonna create a corporation that we may or may not deal with for today. And normally in a Sprawl game, I'm gonna ask specific details of like, oh, what does corporation do? How do they do the thing they do? Goals and whatnot. But for today, the only thing I'm going to ask is their name, their sphere of interest, like do they do private security, refrigeration, recycling, car manufacture, insurance, that sort of thing, and what they're doing to battle chrome rot. Now, chrome rot is basically it is a specific virus. It's a specific like sort of malware that's spreading through people with cyberware. And it's like in terms of the game, it's like black ice. So it's really tough. And once it gets there, it starts wasting away people's like organic functions. And it's becoming a bit of an epidemic in the Sprawl. So obviously the corporations, they have a vested interest in trying to combat this rot. And there are some fun rules for what happens when fun is a relative term, but there's some fun rules that happens should one of you get infected with chrome rot. So that'll be interesting if that happens. Maybe, I don't know, maybe. So yeah, have a think for a moment of like corporations, and again, yeah, they don't need to be detailed, just a name and what they do and how they're dealing with the rot. And if anyone has an idea, feel free to step in.
I have an idea, but I want to check with the table because my idea is a corporation that basically does like televangelism. So we're comfortable with like religion tones.
That sounds really good to me. As long as I'm going to see a cyberpunk twist on that, the Cyber
Oh, yeah.
Christ or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think this corporation, the main thing they do is these like broadcasts, which are probably like good like holographic things, right? There's like the street preacher, but it's actually just a broadcast from this corporation. And then there's like classic televangelist programs, I think. And yeah, that's interesting. Maybe it's something. Oh, okay. Here's the twist. I think maybe. Oh well. I don't want to break the rules too much. I was thinking maybe they aren't fighting Chrome Rot, and this is like a Chrome Rot that is being twisted in their rhetoric as like the path to rapture or whatever.
No, that's perfectly fine. Like that could be their version of fighting Chrome Rot. It's not a hard and fast rule. Like, oh, they have to be fighting it. Like, obviously, some of these groups probably want to take advantage, but yeah, no, that's interesting.
Yeah, I just I didn't know if it was part of a scenario or whatever. But yeah, so but their name, what's their name?
What are you thinking about it? Let's hear like what other people's ideas for like corporations are.
I think there's a corporation that's a genetically modified food corporation. They sell to everyone basically. They have a line in on a lot of the cafeterias and places, fast food places where people step up to a window and get food. And they, advertise everything's delicious, everything's safe. But in reality, what they're doing is they're cloning their food and just adding a lot of spice and adding a lot of things to cover up the fact that it is not really food. It's so modified that it's not going to be good for you. And they're trying to deal with the Chrome Rot by, I think that Chrome Rot, they're not. So is Chrome Rot a virus?
Yes, it is specifically like a virus you encounter in the Matrix in the web.
I think they're trying to push the fact that if the more biological you are, the less that there is a chance of you contracting the Chrome Rot. So therefore, you should concentrate on the good things in life, like food and feeding your biological side.
God, oh God, love these. Well, I say love, but love in the sense of what this. It's kind of sick. Yeah, cool. Do you have a name for them? If not, we can move on and come back to them.
I like a modification of delicious. Let's see, what's a good Deliceous? DELICEOUS, something like that. Yeah.
ICE. Can you put that in the chat? So there. Sorry, I'm juggling like 10 tabs at the moment. I probably should close some of them. Yeah. Goodbye, Itch Game Jam. I don't need you right now. Goodbye, other YouTube channel. Oh, okay. Oh God. All right. Anyone have any other ideas for corporations?
Watchtower Security. Private security firm contracts to different companies within the Sprawl. They're basically cops for hire sort of thing. And how they're dealing with the Chrome Rot is that they've been contracted to oversee quarantine and basically make sure nobody goes into infected sectors, nobody comes out of infected sectors, And pretty much just that.
Cool. All right. Well, maybe I should stop saying things like "cool" or "love it" to these kind of terrible things. I tell you, I'm a nice person. All right, Horace, do you have any ideas for corporation?
I was thinking about a broadcast slash computer game slash virtual space company called Funsoft. And yeah, very creative. And I think that their connection to the virus is that the virus is spread through, among other ways, obviously, spread through the either the games or the virtual games.
Ooh, so like maybe like some of the earliest like outbreaks came from like whatever their broadcasting or their game network is, and they're probably running PR to be like, hey, no, that's not what happened. No, technically, Chrome Rot started when this company
exactly
put up this sort of thing. Yes, there's a lot of finger wagging, so it's a big PR thing for them. But definitely, I think what you said, spread through games are there. Darren, do you have a name for your cyber televangelist?
I think just Salvation Incorporated.
Oh my god. Oh, these. Okay.
And I was thinking in a nice juxtaposition with Delisis. I think that Salvation Incorporated is like sponsoring people to get cyberware.
Ooh. like their cyberware won't have Chrome Rot, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's good. Pure cyberware for your salvation.
All right. So the nice thing with today is at least we're going to be dealing with maybe one or two. Watching over your interests. God damn. This world. All right. Okay, cool. So we have some corporations now. We move on to playbooks. We had a chat before broadcast of like what playbooks people are interested in. Have that firmed up for folks? So I think I'll go left to right for the character keeper again. If you want to shout out like which playbooks you'd be interested in, and then we'll make final decisions on who gets what. So we'll start with you, Horst.
I think my preference at the moment is the driver.
Okay, cool. What about you, Darren?
Come on, the reporter or the pusher, either one.
Cool. Steven?
I'm thinking the tech.
And Rob?
I'm gonna go with the hunter.
Cool. All right. Sounds like we don't have to negotiate anything at all. Everyone's got a clear decision. Cool. All right. So do that, and just go to this. All right. And I'm gonna give you some. Actually, hold on. Yeah, give you some time to write up names, descriptions, add some stats. Let me go. Sorry, all right. There's a bunch of questions here. I'm looking at a separate doc. There's like I managed to close 4 tabs, but I still have like 5 open, and I'm unsure if no, they'll be important, I guess. All right, okay. I'm gonna give you some time to fill up, their playbooks and whatnot. Pick moves, stats, some cyberwares and directives, and then I'll ask some questions about your people and playbooks and whatnot. And links and mission types, all that, all fun stuff. So I'll let you work on that for now. And I forgot to post the link to this live stream for anyone to watch. So I'm gonna post that while people are quiet and it's boring. It's boring video watching because I know how this stuff works.
I have a question. I chose the directive when you harm and then blank. Is that a corporation or a person?
I think. Hold on. Fine. I think it's usually a person. Like I'm looking at the sheet I got prepared, and I think it's like because that directive is specifically the vengeful one. I think what it means is that like whoever you want revenge on or like you're targeting, someone's protecting them. So and directives is usually like about causing trouble for yourself.
Yeah.
So like there's some questions of like there are some questions that link to like each directive I'm going to ask you so we can flesh them out. But yes, normally that would refer to like a person that may not deserve it. I don't know. It's up to why your character wants to hurt them.
Is it established what the cause of chrome rot is, or is that something?
There's we're gonna find out. We're trying to find. There's no definite answer, and I'm saying that because folks are picking the when you find more information about X directive. So as of yet, now there's no definitive source on Chrome rot. Hold on, let me consult this gigantic book.
So could I just say, when you harm the creator of chrome rot or their interests, then?
Ooh. I mean, the thing is, this is a one shot. If you want to say like you know who the creator is, I can definitely go with that. If you think that's interesting.
I don't know that my character knows, but they want to know.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Where do we put the cost and the reason why we have a certain cyber implement?
You can add. I'm gonna add a note to where you put your cyberware, so you can just put it there. Insert note there. It's not showing up. All right, there we go.
What does inaccessible partition mean?
Where's that?
It can't be hacked.
Okay.
Constant fear in Cyberpunk that your eyes will be hacked at any moment. Or there should be, I think.
Yeah.
So I have a question, Leandro.
Mhm.
How are we going to deal with hacking in this?
Because there's no hacker, that basically means we're gonna like minimize the actual hacking because there's no hacker here. Basically, what playbooks you pick will determine what will happen. There's a driver, that means there's gonna be driving. There's a reporter, that means they're gonna be talking to like people and trying to figure out stories and whatnot. And there's tech, lots of tech stuff. Basically the playbooks you pick will kind of determine what happens. So because there's no hacker, there's gonna be very minimal hacking. So more likely than not, we're not gonna deal with this entire chapter all about hacking that's in this, which honestly is probably a good thing in a one shot. Not to say that I'm not gonna discourage anyone from taking the hacker, but that just means slightly less work for me. And yeah. Make some corporation clocks. Fun soft, for fuck's sake. Okay, I think we're just about done, and we'll need a bit more time.
Yeah, I wasn't aware that designing the car takes a shit ton of time.
Yeah, car is a hefty piece of kit for sure. All right, I'll give you a bit more time.
Yeah, I got some moves to choose still, but that won't take too long.
No worries. I will say, because the reporter deals with a lot of clocks, we're probably going to start some of those clocks, like the story ones for sure. A couple more segments closer to midnight, so
Yeah.
just so we might have a chance of filling them up.
You can start the noise one too. You could be like 6 and 6 or whatever.
Okay.
I don't mind. Give me something to work against. I mean, I can have scenes where I'm like, oh, this damn interference. I'm so close to the story.
I mean, if you're gonna invite me to mess with you, okay, sure.
There's one of my like default moves can improve one of the moves I can choose. So I feel like I have to choose this one, but I just don't like that move.
Which move is that?
Monstering.
Oh, yeah, I see. Not the type to. Yeah, no, I know that kind of journalist for sure.
Oh, for sure. I think it just maybe builds in like maybe a more paparazzi way than I want to take it. So I'll just ignore nose for a story. Or I mean, a monstering. I'll keep my core move.
Oh my god! Are we actually gonna have a missile launcher on this car? Okay.
Please give me the opportunity to blow something up.
I mean, you've said it. It's recorded now. It has to happen. So don't worry about contacts for now. I'm gonna ask some questions when we get to like introducing these characters, just like introducing contacts and whatnot. All right, is everyone ready to introduce characters? Cool. Rob, how are you doing?
Still trying to figure out name.
Okay. you're going last anyway, so we'll give you time to think about that. But let's kind of introduce characters. We'll go from left to right then. So, Horace, tell us about Rue.
Well, Rue is a driver, a courier, and she has a neural interface, and that has been, let's see, she has installed it as part of her career, and I chose, I fucked someone over to get it, and now I'm hunted. So I wasn't be able to afford it myself, obviously. And is it a corporation?
Could be. Or let's see. You fuck someone over to get it. You're hunted. Describe who you double crossed. So it could be a corporation. More likely, it's maybe someone.
Yeah. So I would assume it's probably like a customer, somebody who I worked for temporarily, and I wouldn't mind if it's some executive from Watchtower Security, who I had to, transport some super important documents.
But
do I name them?
You name them later for sure. But so it's not just the documents. You basically did you fuck them over to take this neural interface, or is it like documents relating to getting this interface?
So I would assume that they it was a career move. For my career, I had to have these implements, sorry, and so the way I see it, they paid for the extra sauce, so to speak, to get these documents from A to B. Mm-hmm. But they would own me, and I didn't want that. I wanted my freedom, and so I crossed them.
Nice. So you mentioned you did that for your career, and by career I assume like your couriering business. But I noticed you have a directive for wanting fame or whatnot. What exactly sort of fame were you looking for?
Let's see. Well, the obvious answer is some kind of urban race, competitions, probably illegal street races.
And for that, you installed a missile launcher. Gosh. Why do you think you're not as famous as you'd like to be right now?
It's all because I don't question my competence. It must be the tech. So if only I get the upgrade for the car, then obviously I would win the races.
Okay. You also have the vengeful directive here. So who exactly are you looking to harm?
I would like to tie it to what is the Salvation Church called?
Salvation Incorporated.
Yeah, I think that maybe I was brought up in a super religious family, and I just hold a grudge against them. For they're probably, my parents were poor enough, but they also the little money they had, they paid for the crystal church somewhere in the middle of the desert or something. And it could be like individual, like it could be a person.
Probably like one of their head spokes. Probably the one you always see in like those broadcasts. Like there's probably a lot of holograms of them. and you can't hurt a hologram. For sure.
I can blow up the church maybe with my missile launcher.
Cool. I would like a name for this individual, but if you don't have any right now, we'll move on.
I'm horrible with names, but I can
No worries.
look.
No worries. All right. So the main thing is that Salvation Corporate is protecting them. Yeah, maybe it's someone you knew back home from that Crystal Church. Probably you were very annoying zealot, and suddenly rose up the ranks through this Salvation Incorporated company. And now you see their face and like nearly in every street corner. And there's been more of those ever since Chrome Rot began. Just you turn a corner and it's like, oh, there's the fucking preachings happening over there. Is that all right?
That is super cool.
Cool. All right. One last thing. Some specific questions about you as a driver. How did you get your current vehicle? Can you describe what this vehicle is? Because we need to know more about this car that has a missile launcher in it, apparently.
Yeah, it must be because I picked vintage and muscular, so it's probably like a 70s or 60s even muscle car. Probably a Mustang. Some like in Mad Max, so the motor is exposed obviously, and it's flashy, it's chromed, with the like really big exhaust pipes. I mean, I'm also a courier, so there must be some space at least for either people or some kind of smaller stuff to transport.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what kind of stuff do you like? Curry? Is that the word? Is that the verb?
Courier? I don't know. Yeah, it's probably very often like stuff that they don't want to send through whatever the internet is called. It could be drugs or medicines, like blueprints, that kind of stuff. People, if need be.
Cool. How do you keep your? And I think the last question, and this is one for like creating contacts, because contacts are some of the ways you like will do like legwork and to build up this mission. Yeah, who helps you maintain your ride? Like either through like mechanic stuff or like gets you supplies or whatnot. Who like make sure that who helps make sure that like your nice 60s Mustang stays function.
Yeah. It must be like obviously like some kind of garage that is specialized in vintage cars.
Cool.
I fear that I have to come up with a name again.
I'm sorry. If not, I'll come up. I'll give them names later, probably in between the break. Cool. So we've got Creature and a garage. All right. I think we know enough about Rue. Driver with a hunger for fame. Good luck to the rest of you. Let's move on to Spider. Ooh, Darren, tell us more about Spider.
Spider is a reporter. Let me see. Let's start with Spider's look. In the picture, Spider absolutely definitely has a nose ring. Spider's got these penetrating eyes and a composed face with a tense body. He typically wears like corporate wear, definitely trying to like basically move through whichever circles he needs to. As he like goes to get the stories. I picked War Correspondent for my move choice. So I'm thinking that Spider was maybe hired by like maybe not like a news media corporation, but a smaller company or something, and he hasn't been back in like the city or whatever for too long because he's been out covering whatever corporate wars. So he's tired often and more interested in like helping people, hitting that compassionate drive, and very bothered by chrome rots. Like, he's got a neural interface, which I think that was Well, no, I don't think it was paid for by whatever this small media company is. And if I have to tie it to a person, maybe it was like a supervisor or something, or like, well, I want them to be in the city, right? So like a branch supervisor or something like that. Whose name is, I think their last name is De La Rosa, so that's probably how Spider knows her. And yeah, so I like owe her for like getting this company to pay for it, and then kind of broadly I owe this company still in a way.
Just write that down. Interface to De La Rosa. Cool. All right. Okay, I'm gonna concentrate on these drives. So you say you're compassionate, which is nice. So why? So let's see. When you put your compassion for the powerless ahead of mission mark experience. So why are those who you protect worth saving in your eyes?
I think I've just kind of become like a sort of pacifist. So I see a lot of the like military. I had seen a lot of the military-industrial complex, and how a lot of these, especially impoverished people, were basically just like churned up in this whole system and spat out. So I think getting away from that, I think it's basically sort of like a knee-jerk reactionary sort of activism where I'm like the guy who's gonna like get maybe even like get mad and like beat up somebody who's like talking shit to a homeless person, that sort of thing. So I think it's just like related to his PTSD in a way, and he thinks that this is like a super, or he wants this to be like, oh my God, what am I trying to say? He wants to be helpful and he wants to like do this, but he's maybe not great at it.
I'm sure he'll do fine. It's just maybe, I don't know, dice will not go your way.
Probably not.
I've had some games where the dice have been cruel to people. Cool. I think that tells us a lot about Spider. Your other directive is revealing. So can you read out actually which did you pick about what you want to find out?
Yeah, so for revealing, I just went straight for the scenario. I said, when I discover more information about Chrome Rot itself, mark experience.
Hell yeah. So tell me, how's your investigation going? How do you think it's been going so far?
I think it's been frustrating, which makes Spider all the more like engaged in it, because I think that usually stories aren't so obfuscated. Yeah, sounds weird to me right now. I don't know why. Obfuscated, shrouded, if you will. And I think it's frustrating because like every step Spider takes, it's like he's taking 2 steps back. Every left turn he makes, it's like there's 2 right turns he's gotta make. Does that work?
Nice. All right. I think, let's see, another question for that drive. Sorry, I'm looking at a list of questions and there's a lot. It's fine. Which corporation keeps coming up in your investigation?
Oh, let's see. We have Delicis, Funsoft, Watchtower Security, and Salvation Incorporated. About Chrome Rot, they're all kind of implicated, right? Well, it's got to be Funsoft. I think Funsoft's the least implicated from the outset, so I want to drag them into it.
All right, Funsoft. There must be an actual company called Funsoft. Like that seems like a total word. Oh, okay, so there is a Funsoft in Indonesia apparently. There's a Funsoft in Kenya. All right, so okay, fair enough. That is a company that exists. All right, so thanks. I think I have one or two more questions this time, specifically about being a reporter. So, given that there's been an epidemic going on in the quote-unquote sprawl, that's just what I'm going to call this city. Which city district do you think has had all the action? Not in terms of like it's been closed down because of an epidemic, but which part of the city has your investigation kind of like led you to there more often than not?
Interesting. Okay, District of a City. Maybe like the financial districts. I'm thinking maybe it's interesting if there's like a large number of cases in I forget, and like traders basically, if maybe there's like a weird concentration around stock markets essentially. So these securities traders, risk assessors or whatever, all that financial institution stuff. I'm thinking like Wall Street or something.
Cool. All right. And I think for contact, we'll start with like De La Rosa, your branch supervisor on your small ethical media core. I assume they're ethical. Well, well, you work for them. They must be ethical.
Well, it's capitalism.
Yeah, I know. No ethical consumption, etc. It's fine. All right, cool. Move on from you, Spider, to Cal. So, Stephen, tell us a bit about Cal.
So, Kafani Majai, goes by Cal for short, is, let's see, he has appraising eyes, weathered face, muscular body, utility wear. The jacket that he wears is thick and bulky and has 4-inch rings around the shoulders. And he has black skin. He has cyber eyes and cyber comms. He basically, it looks stylish. He has they almost look like embedded tattoos along the side of his face. And that's where some of the cyberware was implanted. He is a tech. As far as moves, he has splicers, so he has an additional piece of cybernetics. That's the cybercoms. He also has storage, which is whenever you take a job, you get extra gear. Customizer, which he can mess with things. And the other move is gunsmith, which I'm an expert in armaments, and I begin with the killer custom weapon. My custom weapon is the Whistler. It is a shotgun, linked, 4 damage, close, near, loud, messy, automatic. So it's an auto fire shotgun. That's what the rings are, is they're clips. So I, whenever I need to, I yank that off, jam it into the shotgun so that they'll go back in and reload. Let's see.
God.
Let's see. My directives are revealing whenever I discover more about Chrome Mark XP. So as a tech, and a splicer, I've been dealing with the Chrome Rot and seeing the effects of it on the street. And I want to make sure it's kind of my livelihood, so I kind of want to make sure that it doesn't, it gets solved as quickly as possible. My other directive is protective. When you put your responsibility to the gang ahead of the mission Mark XP, it's more important that everyone gets out than it is that we get what we're looking for.
Cool. Oh, and by the gang, you mean this gang? Right?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Or whoever I'm on the job with.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, that makes
Today
sense.
it's this group.
Yeah. All right. So I have a question on where you got your cyberware. There's actually you got 3 choices. Either scrimped and safe to buy it, and you're going to get a tag applied to that piece of cyberware, or someone paid for it, so you owe them, or as the driver did, you fucked someone over to get it, and you're going to be hunted by them. So how do you think you got your cyberware?
So for my initial piece of cyberware, I'm hunted by a black market spicer whose name is Cathode. I fucked him over. And then my second piece, I installed myself.
Nice. So you're gonna get a tag for that. Either you get unreliable, substandard, hardware decay, or damaging. Which one do you think applies to this? I mean, is there anything with the tech that makes that you don't have to get one of those tags? Or I mean,
So for the second tag, it says you're an expert in cybernetics and biomodification. You begin with an extra piece of cyberware.
Yes.
Describe how you implanted it in yourself, but you do not need to describe how
Oh,
you paid
yeah.
for it.
All right, crap. Cool. All right.
Yep.
So cathode. Let me put down my notes. Cathode. Does he work for any? Do they work for any corporation?
They're black market, so they're sort of like a mercenary. Whoever pays the most.
Okay. Cool. So during your investigations about chrome rot, how? I'm gonna ask the same question I asked Spider. What kind of leads or like how has your investigation gone? Like, you're looking for information.
Well, I'm definitely seeing that. What I see is I see the people who are infected, and I'm seeing more and more people come into the shop. They're all desperate. I suspect that they've been taking chances that they shouldn't have in order to become infected. But I don't see any commonality between them. They seem to be taking all sorts of different jobs from different corps. There doesn't seem to be a specific, that's the person. That's the person who caused it.
Okay, but definitely be interested in finding out more. All right, so I think I'll ask you as the tech. Where did you get your training to become a master of gear and whatnot?
Oh, I was trained by Cathode, the black market guy that I fucked over.
Okay, all right. Why exactly did you fuck him over?
Why? Is that what you're asking? Oh,
yes.
To get ahead, basically. He trained me. I surpassed him. I feel like I've got to, I can get ahead by fucking him over and starting to take real jobs rather than the street jobs that he takes.
Okay, cool. God, that's ridiculous. All right, fair enough. All right, I think we know quite a bit now about Kalfani or Cal. So I think I'll let you figure out what sort of contacts do you think you have? Like, who do you sell your wares to mostly?
I think I have some old contacts from the street, and I can come up with names. There's probably a junkie on the street. He's definitely infected with the rot, and his name is Smoke.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just an old customer that I knew of. Let's see. Oh, I think there's probably someone who deals in information in the different corps, and their name is Archer. Yeah. And basically, they sell and trade good information.
Nice. All right. Hey, I think that's. I think we know a lot about Cal now. We got a very nice reporter and a bunch of amoral people who are looking to get ahead. This is great. Let's hope our next character will balance out the rest. I don't know, Rob. You tell me. Tell us about Kaji.
So Kaji Kurokawa is, I think, a former investigator for Watchtower Security. He left because he didn't like how they were dealing with certain cases, including the chrome rot case. I think he has he had a sister who was infected with the chrome rot and was put in one of the quarantine sectors, and he wants to get back at whoever created it. Basically, he wants to get to the bottom of it.
Okay. Cool. All right. Yeah. So we. Oh, I just see you do have the compassionate directive. Okay. Cool. So we do have another nice person to balance out this team. Okay. So yeah, tell me about this wanting to get revenge. I guess I'll ask the same question. Are you any close to figuring out who created chrome-rot.exe?
How's
the hunt going so far?
I had a lead. There was a hacker who I was friendly with, who was getting close to finding the source of chrome rot, but they fell to the disease themselves, and I don't have any way personally of accessing their files. I'm not even sure that it would be safe to do that.
Yeah, I want to watch out for that. Tell me about your cyber. Actually, I think I accidentally passed over that. What kind of cyber do you have?
So Kaji has Cyber Eyes with the magnification, recording, and inaccessible partition upgrades. So those were provided by Watchtower Security when he was working for them. So he's still kind of beholden to them because of that.
Mm-hmm. Let's do Watchtower. Hell yeah. Well, not hell yeah. They don't sound like good people. I think yeah, you got an idea of why you're compassionate, sister, vengeful. Okay, I think I have one or two more questions, and after this, we're gonna do links, and then take a break. So as a person who knows how to look for things, where do your main sources live? Actually, tell me like the place where your hacker friend, or yeah, like people like your hacker friend, where do they stay in the Sprawl?
I think they probably stay in. I'm trying to remember. Is it just I'm trying to remember the actual Sprawl novels, like the sort of slum area. It might just be the slums, but they basically live off the grid, sort of. Yeah, in the part areas of the city that are less, they're less hooked into the system.
Mm-hmm.
Like they might have like their own connection that they've wired in to the block, but they don't have like any of the Big Brother surveillance or anything like that in that area.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna put that down. Slubs, off grid, no big bro. That's gonna make sense to me. Probably not gonna make sense to me an hour later. No big bro, whatever that means. Okay, cool. The last thing we're gonna do is links then. So everyone's described their characters. So I'm gonna go around back to Horst, and this is how we're gonna determine links. So, each player will tell everyone about a job their character did against one of the corporations established in step 0. So basically, the character should play like a leading role in the job you describe, either like in charge of the operation or did something really cool during that job. It's a chance to show off a little. So go back to you, Rue. What kind of job? Which corporation have you done like a pretty significant job against?
Let's see. I want to say maybe the what is the genetic food thing? Delicious?
Yes.
And I want to say I worked with a reporter maybe to. Is that the how it works? We link it to another person or just to the corporation?
You're gonna link to the player to your left. So the left is your character keeper. So it's going to be with the hunter, with Kaji.
Kaji is a hunter. So Rob or Kaji, you're specialized in finding things out, I think, or uncovering things.
Yep.
So it's more likely that I supported you than the other way around. So probably you needed to get away, maybe. I was the how's it called? The getaway driver.
Mm-hmm.
Or would you be willing to would actually pursuit driving be something that you would do?
Chasing
Yes.
after someone.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay.
So, oh yeah, that makes more sense probably. So you were on the, you're tailing someone.
Yeah.
Cool. So
And I
what's
have-
gonna happen? Oh, sorry. Cool. So what's gonna happen
that
is
was it.
no, sorry. Go ahead. We keep talking to each other.
I have
So-
the feeling that I'm lagging like 3 seconds behind. So don't mind me. What were you saying?
Oh, I was gonna say, like, what that means is that Kaji or Fox or Rob's character is gonna take +1 link with you, and then continuing from there, each character will say if they were involved in that job or not. Just turning these curtains here, the sun's going away. So I'll come to Kalfani. Were you involved in that job? Do you think to pursuing someone, high-speed chase, someone involved with Delicious? Okay, cool. All right. So, what about you, Spider? Think you've been involved in that job? It doesn't have to be like you were part of the chase. Like maybe you contributed something like tech or info, or you broke the story or whatever. But if not, that's perfectly fine as well.
I'm still like this. I don't think I was involved in it.
Cool. All right. So, all right. So that means the delicious clock gets delicious clock gets advanced. All right. We keep going from left to right in the character keeper. Spider, tell us about a job you did against one of these corporations.
Oh, I think I did a job against Watchtower Security. Because this quarantine is bullshit. I think that's what was it? Yeah. I think maybe I was like I was getting information on like a commander or something, so sort of disrupting the chain of command or something like that.
Cool. So like probably like investigating one of the commanders or leaders and trying to like get info on like some dirty dealings they've done, something like that.
Yeah, and I'm cool with it being high action too. Like maybe I had to infiltrate like a Watchtower Security base or whatever, command center, because
Nice.
Physical access or something like that.
So the player to your left, which will be Horst, will tell how their character was involved in that job. How do you think Rue was involved in this?
So I don't think she infiltrated the compound or whatever it was, because that's not her strength. So it's probably again be the getaway car. Does that make sense? So after the infiltration, you obviously had to get away without being seen or captured.
Cool.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense.
What better getaway car than a very obvious 60s Mustang?
True.
Loud as well.
Yeah, loud Mustang with a
chase after them with a missile launcher.
That is true. The drivers popped out the missile launcher. Like, I'm gonna mess with this. No. Okay. All right, Rue, you're gonna take +1 links with Spider, and continuing to the left. Kaji, do you think you were involved in that job?
Definitely. I think I was like the inside man who was basically give you the access code, give you the access codes and stuff that you need to get in.
Nice. Cool. Cal, do you think you were involved in that job?
Yes. I think I provided the weapons. I think that whenever you went in with some weapons that were easily targetable and fast action and concealable.
Nice. Cool. All right. So that means each person who contributed gets 1 link with that character, +1 to Spider. Also, it means the Watchtower Security's corporation clock will keep advancing. It's advanced quite a bit. Hell yeah. Cool. Next is Cal. So tell us about a job you did to one of these 4 corporations.
So we did a job with Salvation. Salvation is the corp that is preaching that the Chrome Rot is a way of ascending, of being saved, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we came across some information. I found a number of people on the street that were infected with Chrome Rot, and it seemed like the Salvation might be a source. And we decided to infiltrate and see if we couldn't nail them for being associated with the Chrome Rot and hoping to spread it through their ministries.
Nice. How did that job go? What did you find?
So we found that they had been infecting people, but that they weren't the source of the infection. They had found some people who were already infected and then returned them and started using them to infect others.
Nice. Well, not nice. I need to stop saying nice to horrible corporation things happening. All right, so player to your left will tell you how your character was involved. So how was Spider involved in this job? That's you, Darren.
Got distracted. I think it's okay. So they're televangelists. So I think maybe I was able to give you press access as like it's like a contract reporter or something for my company to basically let you bypass security and get you in position.
Very cool.
Nice. All right, so Spider, you're gonna take a +1 link with Cal. Going from Spider to Rue. Do you think you're involved in this job?
I mean, Rue hates Salvation, the whole thing, the whole church. So, and she has, like, from back home, at least information about the proceedings, how you interact with the church. So maybe could provide some kind of social training, how to blend in.
Nice. All right, so that means you are going to take +1 link with Cal, and I'm going to advance the clock. What about you, Kaji? Fox, were you involved with this job?
Yeah, I think anything that's involved with Chrome Rot, Kaji will probably stick his head in there. So probably providing some, some assistance with the legwork side, like asking questions and just investigating the scene, sort of thing.
Cool. All right, so you're going to take a +1 link with Cal, and I will advance the clock. Some of these corp clocks are quite close to midnight. I don't know how that happened. Oh, yeah, because I advanced them all 1 bit because we were doing a 1-shot. So it already started off at 12. Sorry, I'm sorry. Cool. All right, one more round of links to do. Fox, tell us about a job you did against one of these corporations.
So I think Fox was investigating what was it, Funsoft?
Mm-hmm.
Because they were very, they were one of the major vectors of infection. So he was thinking maybe there's somebody inside Funsoft that is deliberately doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's who's it that I'm connecting to?
Player to your left.
Okay, so that's tech. Yeah, so tech, not hacker. So maybe
Well, they'll say how they helped you
Yeah.
out in this job.
Yeah.
So how did Kyle help out?
So I think I provided some covert equipment in order for you to find out more information.
Okay, cool. All right, so take a link with Fox, and I will advance a clock. People can say no to to getting involved in these jobs, because if you do, I'm just gonna keep advancing. But well, that's up to you. Spider, were you involved with this job?
Yeah, absolutely. There's something shady going on with Funsoft.
I will advance a clock.
I don't know.
Rue? Oh, take a link with Fox. But Rue?
Well, Horst now is afraid of advancing any clock, so no.
Yeah, I think probably this, because this one doesn't involve Salvation Core and it's another infiltration job. It's not your thing, makes sense. Yeah. Otherwise, if you said yes, yeah, you would have been you're 10 minutes to midnight, and that's not a good thing. All right, cool. So we've got this crew, we've got the scenario. So what I'm gonna do is let's take 13 minutes, come back at 10:02, take big sizable break because we did a lot of character generation, and I'm just gonna plunge you in with someone's gonna give you a mission, and we'll see how this goes. So we'll be back in 13.
I have a startup mission move too, just as a soft reminder.
Oh yeah. I think there's a bunch of them, so
Okay.
I'll make sure to trigger those. Cool.
Andrew, I feel like you're very brave for jamming this in a one shot. There's so many
Yeah.
moving parts.
Yeah. Here's another thing that should make people nervous. Well, actually, no. I shan't say. I don't want to make people nervous. I'm not going to say it. But yeah, I think
Leandro, you wanted to say that it's your first time.
yes.
I can read your face.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm not good at lying. Yeah, no, it'll go well. I mean, we're gonna do one mission. It'll be fine.
It's a PBTA game. They all work the same.
I'll tell you something, Leandro.
Hmm?
I trust you with all I have. You're doing a great job.
Thanks. Actually, that means a lot, Horst.
I've
Hey,
done
look.
I've run a one shot of this. It's fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah, yeah, it'll be fine. I'm reading this sheet that says how to do Sprawl one shot. I messed up the order of how to do things, but it'll be fine. Actually, I looking at the sheet, there's a note from a Treb Rudahan from like 3 years ago about how I prefer to do corporations before characters. But what do you do? Anyway, all right, cool. Everyone's back. I mean, I'm running a one shot of a Forged in the Dark game tomorrow. This after today, that'll be easy. There's also one shot of Beam Saber as well, so that'll be fun. Anyway, all right, everyone's back. I know there's a bunch of like start of session moves, but before we fire that off, let's set the scene of basically where we're going to go on for this session. I think each of you has been contacted individually for a job, and it's true. Someone probably that's kind of well known to the folks who do these sort of things in the Sprawl. So you probably like an official intermediary between an employer and operatives like you. So they're legit, basically. So that. You're not just being contacted by a rando who are like, hey, can you do a thing for me? This person's done quite a bit of work, and they've arranged for a meet at a specific location in town. It's probably a bit uncomfortably close to one of the quarantine zones, but it's again this focus reputation. Their name is Bright Eyes, and I think I want to know. As you make your way to the meet, I want to know like what each character's like demeanor or thoughts, and what sign of chrome rot do you see on your way towards this meeting? Yeah, Beam Saber is huge. Maybe I should have picked some easier games to run a one shot off, but it's too late.
I think that there are no adverts, which is strange, right, for hyper-capitalist near future. I think that they've all glitched out. The chrome rot, of course, is like mainly dealing with cybernetics, but I think there's like these secondary effects where any sort of like information system, mechanical system can't really like gets overloaded or something maybe. So if they were on, it would be like flickering lights. It just wouldn't be like effective marketing. Turned them off. So it's like eerily, maybe a little darker, and then like eerily quiet, maybe.
Nice.
I think we come across people who have the Kynes mark, which is probably some kind of something on the forehead. And it must have a religious connotation, so maybe a cross is probably a bit too on the nose.
A logo.
I was thinking, like it has a shape on the forehead that resembles like is a mustard seed. Is that does that have some religious significance in Christianity? No.
Let's see. I put down mustard seed in Google, and the first autofill is Ireland. So apparently, it's a lot to do with us. I don't know what, but
yeah. So, oh, I know. It's roughly the shape of a cock, not a dick, but like a male chicken.
Oh, okay, okay, all right. Cool. I Actually, I'll note that down. All right. That's eerie.
There's also usually there's a lot of people on the street. There's a lot of business going on. And there's often a lot of beggars. In this case, as we get closer and closer to the quarantine area, these people are missing. These people have probably fallen to the chrome rot by this point.
Oh God. Beggars. What about you, Fox?
Occasionally, just people. The few people, some of the few people that we found along the way to the meeting point, that have like signs of like sort of rust-like rashes on their skins.
And you would know what the symptoms would look like since you know someone infected with chrome rot. Ugh. All right. So before we get to the meeting, some folks have some start of session stuff. Are they start of session or start of mission?
Mine's a start of mission. I wasn't sure if missions are sessions or.
All right. Well, there's a thing where you have to accept the mission, so we'll probably do that once you accept the mission. Then, cool.
I believe mine is also start of mission.
All right.
Yeah.
Ooh, I think also Rob, Fox, you also have a start of mission move, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, you'll be fine. You can, well, you could roll a miss, I guess. But I'll be fine. It'll be fine. Yeah. So I think you are gonna meet Bright Eyes right in view of like a hastily erected like barricade, barring off what was probably like a shopping district of the city, and you're like maybe like quite a number of feet away, but you can see like there's like they've parked like these two APCs in the front, and just like guards milling about. But you see there's this thin, reedy figure like underneath like a lamppost or something, looking quite noir and mysterious. They're wearing like this black suit with like silver lining on it that looks all shimmery and chrome like, and also they're wearing a bowler hat. What's up with that? And they see like, I think as the four of you kind of come along, they kind of give you a salute, and you see like they've got like what looks like a small silver tube between their fingers. You can tell it's an e-cig, but at this point they've created e-cigs that actually look like cigs, like cigarettes. And I think they just give you they're also wearing sunglasses. Actually, no, they're not wearing sunglasses. Here's the reason why they're called Bright Eyes. Because you can see like their eyes, their pupils are like this solid gold, and their eyes are kind of like a bit protuberant. And the one thing you know about Bright Eyes is that they never blink or close their eyes, honestly. So they're giving you like this stare, and they raise their hands up like, greetings.
You brought enough goons, Bright Eyes?
Well, they're not really my goons. I'm just a humble intermediary. This choice of location wasn't mine. It's just that my employer wants to make a point.
Take out my phone, open the notes app, and who's your employer?
That's on a need-to-know basis. I mean, I don't even know if you accept this job first. But since you're here, I know. And I know all of your professionals. And this is a bit of a ways away sort of trek. I think you'd be very interested on what job I have to offer. What do you know of... Are any of you gamers?
I am.
Cool.
I'm a casual gamer.
Are you a big fan of what do they call it? They call it VVNs, virtual visual novels. Are you that kind of gamer?
I'm more into action games, to be honest. But I heard about them.
Fair enough. Well, most of you have probably heard of the scuttlebutt about where Chrome Rod came from, what Chrome Rod's about, yada yada yada. Funsoft this, SI that. My employer has more concrete ideas of where Chrome Rod came from, and they've determined that. Well, they determined that it came from a certain malware infecting a certain virtual visual novel that was taken out of the market once the epidemic started. There's only been one copy of this VVN with the specific patch involving. The patch said to have started up this whole mess, and they wave at the APCs and the guards and whatnot. My employer's been trying to figure out where this VVN is, and they've got a lead. It just so happened a Funsoft convoy is making its way from one part of the Sprawl to another. My employer believes that the VVN is on that convoy. And they want that VVN. It seems like a job that'll interest any of you.
What do they want to do with the novel and the source of the Chrome Rod?
Well, I can tell you that this state of events, and again, they wave at the quarantine gate, it's something they don't want to stick around. It's something they want to change. It's not good business. It's not a good vibe, to be honest, this whole epidemic. Quarantine's only doing as much as it can. And if Funsoft or anyone involved won't fess up to it, then maybe my employers or anyone else will be interested in making them fess up. But for that, they're gonna need that VVN.
What's for us?
Here's I think this is where you roll get the job. When you negotiate the terms of a job, you're gonna roll plus edge. Who wants to roll that? Who's doing the negotiating?
Before that, I was paying attention for any signs of him bullshitting at any point during that. So,
Ooh, all right, okay, cool. That's a that is an assess for sure. That's also with edge.
Can I cheat?
Actually, maybe you don't need an assess for this because this is the start of the job. And I'll tell you right now, if you don't get this job, I don't know what else you're gonna do this session. Okay. So I think I think Bright Eyes has a reputation. They seem like a slimy motherfucker for sure. They don't blink. They keep staring at you. They keep blowing e-cig smoke around, but they've never screwed over anyone. I think I'll just to make it simple, they're not bullshitting you.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do. Yeah, you can do assess after job, but like, yeah, since it sounds like Spider, you're the one doing the negotiating. Roll plus edge. What you get?
A 4.
Oh no.
Okay, I got a 5.
Okay. Oh, you got a 5. All right. Let me double check what happens on a miss.
We're off to a great start.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to help me? Oh, it doesn't matter. Never mind. Sorry.
Doesn't matter.
+1.
Yeah. You're not gonna get to it. All right. Let me double check what happens in a miss. I think what just happens is there is I'm looking at the wrong page. There we go. Missing this move means either that the employer remains in control of the flow of knowledge and payment, or when they slip and give away additional information, it reveals additional complications for the characters. Yeah, I think. Okay, here's kind of what happens. you negotiate, and it's a fair enough sort of job. It's kind of typical. You don't get anything more than like, I think it's actually he offers semi-generous terms, like 4 cred each. That seems very good. This is kind of the important job, It's gonna deal with all this. But I think, I think it's just that you don't know the employer well. All you have is their word that no, their employer wants to change things. It's fine. They have the resources. I think that's what this is. What they have the resources to make use of whatever started this Chrome rot. Yeah, I mean, good Harbinger, first roll of the mission. That'll be fine. Folks are fine. All right. So before we get into the legwork phase, which is gathering information and whatnot, folks have some start of mission moves. Do you want to start rolling stuff against Spider, or do you want to let other people roll first?
I can do it.
Okay, cool. What's your start of mission move?
Starting mission move is nose for story. I'm gonna roll plus edge, and I get hold, and then I can spend the hold on this list during the mission. So don't fail me now, edge. Again, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I'll take it. So I get 1 hold. Yeah, 1 hold.
Cool. All right. Up next, Cal, you have a start of mission stuff?
I do. This is storage. After receiving a job, you can look through your parts and supplies for equipment that might help with the mission. Roll mind. I got an 11, which is gain 3 gear reliant to your chosen area of expertise.
Cool. Gear and intel is tracked in the clocks tab. So basically, gear is you activate that to procure gear on the spot. Basically, like say, oh, I had this. So that's good to have that anyway. And last but not least, Fox.
Okay, so I have it all fits together. You're a master of making connections between seemingly unrelated events. So start of the mission, I roll edge. Submit. Okay, so that's 3 and a 6 plus 2. That's 11.
Nice. All right.
I hold 3, and as I put everything together during the mission, I can spend 1 hold at any time to ask a question from the research list.
Cool. All right. So now that the mission started, I'm going to put up the mission directives, the things you need to accomplish to get XP and get experience. So I'm going to put them in the chat. I'm going to read them out for the viewing audience. So when you accept the mission, mark experience. So everyone do that. When you determine the route and point of capture of the VVN, mark experience. When you successfully acquire the VVN, mark experience. And when the mission ends, mark 2 experience. Simple enough, simple. Well, things could happen, but simple. So yeah, those are directives you need to fulfill to get this mission done. So now we're on the legwork phase. So basically, this is your chance to determine the route and point of capture to VVN. So you'll tell me what each character kind of wants to do, whether other characters join you to help out. Maybe folks need help. I don't know. Maybe they don't. This is the point where you can declare contacts or come to contacts that you know. And try to figure out the point of attack. So I'll give you a bit of time to think about what each character wants to do, and then I'll ask you. I'm gonna ask what do they want to do. If you have an idea, feel free to chime in.
So there's a convoy. Is that true?
Yes. Bright Eye specifically said, yeah, it's a convoy.
So I think it would be interesting for my character to get to know the route, probably.
Ooh. How is Rue accomplishing this? What does she do? What does she usually do to figure out the route?
That's a good question.
I'll give you something else that Bright Eyes will give you. They'll give you where the Funsoft archival building where the convoy is setting off. They can give you that. They don't know where it's going, but they know where it's coming out of. So you can start there.
Yeah. So I think she probably knows something like a taxi driver who is familiar with every street in the Sprawl, obviously, and she would ask him for potential routes, like how to get away from the building, secure, fast, inconspicuous, and so forth.
Nice. So I think this is a declare a contact move. So you can declare contact once permission, so you can get some info and whatnot, and then ask some questions. Give me a sec while I find exactly that. That's in the basic moves. Sorry about that. All right. So does this taxi driver, do they owe you a mission, or do they owe you a favor, or do you owe them a favor?
Let's say I owe her a favor. And I think that she provided information about how to transport things from A to B in a most efficient, fast, inconspicuous way possible, depending on what the job was. And so I owe her.
Nice. All right. So when you go to a contact for help, that's a hit the street. You're gonna roll style with that.
Oh, nice. I'm stylish, I think.
Hell yeah. No, Root looks stylish. I accidentally called them Root. Thanks, Darren. All right. Roll the style.
I have so that's an 8, and I think I'm stylish. Let's see. It's a 9.
Cool. So on 7+, you're gonna get what you want. But on 7 to 9, you're gonna choose 2 from the list below. Your request is going to cost you extra. Your request is going to take some time to put together. Your request is going to attract unwanted attention, complications, or consequences, or your contact needs you to help them out with something. So you can choose 2.
I pick the third one, which is complication. And let's say it takes some time.
Ooh, okay. I think, yeah. So I think what this looks like is your taxi driver friend. I'm not going to make you think of a name right now. Your taxi driver friend, you probably meet them at the front of this like Funsoft archives, and they kind of like take you through like, here's the kind of route and that the convoy would probably take, and you're going to figure out the route. But what happens is there's going to be time. It's going to be taking time. They're actually going to take you through the route itself, like on their taxi, and they point out like, okay, here's probably where they're going to go. If they're trying to keep it minimal and whatnot, but because it takes some time, you're going to attract some attention. So I'm going to advance a clock.
Fair.
I think what it looks like is there. I think when you kind of like start driving off from the Funsoft archive. And this archive looks fairly nondescript, even for like for the Sprawl. It's like a small, like, well, say small. There's like skyscrapers all around probably, but this is one of the more residential part. It's like 7 stories tall, brown faded sort of building with like, there's some weird tubing to the side, and I think as you kind of like drive off, you'll see like on the corner of your eye, you'll see like there's a drone patrolling around the Funsoft archive, and you'll know that it spotted you specifically. So I'm gonna advance a clock. But you get the route. So you get the route, and here's the interesting thing you find out about the route. It ends at a Salvation Incorporated church.
That's hot information.
So you know where it starts and you know where it ends. All right. So that's and I'm gonna advance a clock in the leg. Oh, the clock on advance is the legwork phase clock. What that means is that the more stuff advance into it, the less money you get at the end of it. because actually I just remembered you determine money at the end of the. Actually, no, there's a way to. There's another way, but I'm skipping that over because it's a one shot, so we don't have to care about it too much. I just remembered how you actually get money in this, but it's a one shot. I'm sorry. We might do it for fun later if we've got some time. But yeah, I'm gonna advance a legwork clock phase clock. No, you don't want that to advance too much. It just means like more. They get more prepared the more it gets advanced, basically. Cool. So what's everyone else doing as part of legwork?
I think Kaji is going to visit a bar, which is popular with the security industry workers. So just call it the Rebus bar. And he's just going to try and get some, just going to try and see if he can fish out some information about the security detail and what kind of measures are being put in place.
Cool. So this is kind of a research. I mean, normally it involves library, dossier, or database, but you can call these Watchtower goons like a dossier of info.
I have a move. So when you circulate among a neighborhood or a group of people, you may research to gather information.
Well, I'm glad you had that move because otherwise I was just going to give it to you and probably just be far too nice. But I'm glad there's a mechanical justification and I don't have to cover up anything. Cool. So yeah, roll your research. It's with mine.
If I go with, is there any mechanical benefit, or am I just there?
You can roll to help.
I got a 10 on the dice, so
Never mind.
Okay. Cool. All right. So on a 10 plus, you're gonna take intel and ask a question from the list below, and you can ask and I'll answer it, and you can ask a follow-up question.
Okay. So how secure is the convoy?
Okay. Lost my sheet. How secure is the convoy? It's going to be what you find out as probably a bunch of like Watchtower security people who were probably interns when you were there and knew you. Well, no, they don't know you. You're just circulating around. I think what you hear from some interns who probably should know better. There we go. Talking around is that there's going to be 4 cars in this convoy. And it's a kind of a covert sort of convoy. They're going to be coming out at not intervals because that will make it too obvious. So there's a car that's going to come out, and then 20 minutes later, 5 minutes later, another car, 10 minutes later, another car, and then 15 minutes later, another car. And they're all the same sort of armored black sedan. And the other thing, and they don't know exactly where the VVN is. Well, you have a follow-up question, so you might be able to ask, but you don't know which car. But here's the other protection as well. They're going to have drone support. For sure. Don't know exactly what kind of drone support, but they have eyes in the sky.
Yeah. So my follow-up question, surprise, surprise, was going to be, where would I find the VVN?
It's gonna be the last car. They're gonna assume that everyone else is gonna come after the other 3. Cool. So got that info. Jeez, you're gonna do fine. Wrap this one shot up in record time. It's gonna be great. All right. So that's Fox's move. Anyone else? Cal or Spider, what are you up to?
I think I want to investigate Bright Eyes' employer. I want to figure out who we're working for.
Ooh, how are you doing that?
I mean,
Oh, can you? Did you say something? Because my internet freaked out. I might have missed what you
oh
said.
no. I was thinking. I mean, I want to hit the street, which will
Okay,
probably
yeah.
end up declaring a contact.
Mhm.
Because I don't think it's De La Rosa for this one. I think that let's see. What would be a fitting contact? I think that I think it's like a black market supplier or maybe a mover. So it's somebody I knew from my war correspondent days who worked with like arms dealers or something. So I think they're in the city for some reason. So I'm thinking maybe they have like these black market connections to where I can suss out who's employing Bright Eyes. And I'm going to go to them. Their name is Souza.
Okay. See where you're getting your names right at the, for today. Okay, cool. So roll up a style.
Oh no, style. I think it's a 0. Me not picking my strong traits yet. No, wait. Oh, my style's +1. There we go. I knew I wanted to be stylish.
Yeah.
It's an 8.
All right. So on an 8, same thing as with Rue. You're gonna choose 2 from the list. Cost you extra. Take some time. Attract unwanted attention. Complications, consequences, or your contact might need some help.
Choose 2. Ooh, I think that I don't want to do something else. I think it's going to cost me extra, and it's going to attract unwanted. Maybe, yeah. I know. Something unwanted. I'll leave it up to you.
Sorry, could you repeat that? My internet freaked out again. I didn't miss exactly what you said.
That's okay.
Sorry.
I'm going to choose my request is going to cost me extra, and my request is going to attract unwanted attention, complications, or consequences. Which I like.
Okay, cool. What's Souza like?
What is Souza like? Well, firstly, I think we're going to meet at a cafe. This cafe is called Dark Matter, and they're known for very strong coffee. And Souza doesn't drink coffee. I think that's the kind of person Souza is. They meet me for coffee, or they meet me for this like meeting, but they like aren't putting up with any bullshit. No niceties, no like ceremony or anything. It's just sort of like, why are you wasting my time, Spider?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what they say. It's like you want me to like go look into who Bright Eyes is working for, which I mean we all know Bright Eyes is a prick and a weirdo and a bit of a sleaze monkey. But he's reliable, you know? This is gonna come back at you. And it's gonna come back at me as well. He's waving a bagel.
Yeah, there's always blowback in this business, you know. But what are we gonna do, Souza?
Well, I'm gonna make sure to look. I have to protect my business here, Spider. I have to ensure the blowback is gonna be on you. Are you up for that? So I can find this out, but you better be sure.
I mean, I've dealt with worse. I've been shot at before.
So mechanically, the extra cost is I'm gonna up your noise clock. And if you'll notice, your noise and story clocks are both at 1800. Yeah, they should be both 1800. And the noise clock, I wrong clock there. The noise clock is now at 2100.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a lot of noise on you. Okay. But Susan will find out for you, who Bright Eyes is working for, and they're working for a corporation. There's dummy corps in between, but Sousa's good at this, movements and whatnot. They're working for Delicious.
Delicious wants a VVN from Funsoft that is being delivered to Salvation.
Yeah, see, free market competition. That's what they do. All right, so that's Spider's move. Cal, well, what are you up to?
Yeah, so I think I'm going to go. I happen to know a spy who has been inside Salvation,
Ooh.
and I'm going to declare a contact. Their name is Zero,
Mhm.
and Zero owes me because we were on a previous job, and he was about to jack into something provided by Salvation, use a piece of tech, and I stopped him and reminded him that that would be a bad idea until he made sure that it wasn't infected.
Mhm.
And it turned out it was. Salvation had given him infected tech.
Of course.
So he owes me for stopping him.
Hell yeah.
So the question I want to ask him is, tell me about what kind of alarms would be set up on the VNV that's being delivered on the convoy, specifically
Mhm.
so that we could try to suppress them.
Ooh, okay. So yeah, roll hit the streets there. That's with
It-
style.
Is that hits the streets or is that research?
Ooh, the thing is, research is about looking into like databases, library, and whatnot. When you go to a contact for help, that's hit the street.
Okay. So that is a.
I mean, you can still do research later. The legwork phase goes on for as long as you need it. But the thing is, there's a more chance that the legwork phase clock will go up if if things get in the way.
So that is an 8.
All right. So
Okay.
you're also going to choose 2 from the list below, but you're going to get what you want. It's going to cost you extra. It's going to take some time, attract unwanted attention, or your contact needs some help. I will say, if you choose your contact needs help, you can turn them down and take -1 ongoing to hit the street until you make it right. The nice thing with a one-shot is we might not have to deal with that shit until at all, because I don't know if you're gonna hit the street anymore. But yeah, which ones? Do you think?
Yeah, so I think the contact needs help and asks for extra money. So the request is going to cost me extra. So, yeah.
Okay, so where do you meet Zero and what are they like? Don't mind me asking.
So let's see. Zero, I think, is a hacker.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they've been able to get away with a lot and fake identities and things like that in order to infiltrate Salvation.
Mm-hmm.
And they're very quiet, very nondescript. You wouldn't really notice them in a crowd.
Hmm. Yeah, so I think when they kind of meet you, so remind me again, you're looking for like what sort of tech or alarms or
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, I'm specifically looking for what kind of alarms would be set up so that we can make sure that Salvation isn't aware of this.
Ooh, I think what this is going to look like is you're going to get a more extra piece of gear so that when this alarm that he's going to tell you what the alarm is, and when we get to it, you can produce that gear to like counteract. You can spend that piece of gear to counteract the alarms, for sure. But I think he's going to ask extra for you, and I think he's kind of almost abashed about it, and he just says like, normally I wouldn't ask for more of you because we tight, You're good. I'm good. It's just they kind of like they have like goggles, and they kind of they toss a bit more, and you can see there's like a tiny rust like sort of rash around near their eye. And it's just like
So I increased the cost.
Yeah, I think what it is just. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, what's the cost?
I'm just gonna be nice. It's gonna be like cred, probably like 3.
Okay.
Because I think he doesn't know how much you need to like stave off what he's got. So yeah. All right. So, but yeah, what you now know, I'm gonna mark an extra piece of gear, and you can mark that off like to counteract their alarms for sure. So that whatever happens, well, however you want to deal with this convoy, I don't. Well, they're not gonna get like reinforcements, at least from Salvation Incorporated. Okay, so like does folks have any more things I want to do with legwork phase? I'll remind you the directive says that you've determined the route, but where are you exactly gonna like what did I say? The point of capture. Where are you gonna like where in the route? I think is kind of what I'm asking.
I mean, let's see. Rue was driving with Silver along the route, and did I see like something that would be advantageous for us? Because, for example, I don't know, it's like a one-way street, or it's a tunnel, or it's a bridge, some kind of feature that we could use to our advantage.
Ooh, you know what? Since you got that route, you tell me where the point of capture is going to be, and I'll let you like roll assess to see if see how good it is.
I want to say it's a tunnel, and it does have like two lanes, but there's one place where there's some kind of construction work, so it's reduced to one lane.
Ooh. Oh yeah. So I think as you're driving through, you and Silver are driving through that tunnel. You can roll assess to closely study the place, and so that's with edge.
Rolling plus edge. That is a 4, which is not really high, and I have 2 in edge, so it's still a miss. Maybe. Ooh. I mean, there's nobody with me who could help out, I guess.
I mean,
if we planned it ahead of time, I was thinking maybe I would be up for doing something like running a fake story and getting like blueprints, city planning blueprints or something. So maybe I can like feed you some information about tunnels, things like that.
All right, let's see how well that goes though. This is a help.
Yeah, I don't think
so you're gonna roll plus links with Rue. Do you have links with Rue?
I don't think so. Nope. So.
Yeah, so you can roll a flat roll then.
That's a 5.
Oh my God. All right. So that's 2 failures. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna advance a clock twice. Yeah, I think to your eyes this tunnel looks good. That's the most you're gonna get. This tunnel looks good, but I think you will notice that drone that was that you saw in Funsoft, it is definitely followed you into this tunnel. I think you kind of see it like in the construction lights and whatnot. Just like, and I think you probably heard it moving as well.
Yeah, I just found out that I also have a drone. I gave it small. Yeah, there's so much crap on the character sheet. So it's small. There's like a medical scanner, and it's fragile.
All right.
Not that it helps at the moment, but just saying. I have another question. Like any kind of preparation would be in the legwork phase, or like if I would like to steal like a big truck to block the tunnel, for example, is that legwork or is that mission?
There is a move that will just, it's kind of like a Blades in the Dark engagement role. That's like, all right, if you want to steal something, that's a conduct an operation to help out a mission. That's for like side objectives and whatnot. So it is just going to be another role. So you want to steal a truck.
Like what's it called? Like yeah, some kind of trash compactor or whatever it's called, like the trash truck.
Okay, cool. So when you lead a plan and coordinate operation, describe your plan, who's carrying it out. That's Rue, I suppose. Does anyone want to help steal this truck?
Yeah, I think I'm going to help.
Cool. All right. So describe the plan, who's carrying it out, and roll plus edge. So with Cal here, that means you can help out in case.
Right.
Okay. So let's see.
You can roll plus edge.
Oh motherfucker! This is another. Let's see. It's a 6.
Oh no! All right.
Let's see if I can help. I have a link with Fox.
No, wait. This is with Rue.
Oh, it's with Rue?
Yeah.
Do I have a link with Rue? I do not have a link with Rue, and I failed as well.
Oh no! Oh wow! So here's the thing about this Sprawl. When you get into a death spiral, you get into a death spiral on this. This is not a death spiral, but like, oh gosh.
Oh.
Okay, all right. So here's what happens when you fail conduct an operation. The MC will describe a scene and make a move that puts you on the back foot. I'm so sorry. Okay, what does this look like when the two of you try to steal this truck, and where do you steal it from?
I mean, I rely probably on Cal to do the logistics, and I just jump into the car and drive away, or try to.
Yeah, and I'm trying to hotwire it. Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. Oh god, I'm not expecting all these misses, and you don't even get XP. Gosh. Okay. All right. Let me look at my moves and see what happens. Okay. Yeah, I think what happens is 2 misses. Okay. First, I'm gonna advance a clock. I'm just gonna advance the leg clockwise, just one, but it's gonna advance another clock. It's a cascade of clocks advancing. I'm so sorry. And I think it's just so much noise. I think yeah, it goes all right because the truck. I think yeah, it just takes too long to hotwire the truck, and what's going to? Oh my gosh. So there's 2 misses. So I'm a bit struggling a bit. So let me take a moment to look at my MC moves and
don't hold back. I mean, we are hardened criminals, so.
Oh yeah, and stylish ones at that. Apparently, well, fame-hungry ones at that. So just to remind yourself, Rue, you drove off and left Cal behind. Is that what I heard right? I thought I heard something like that. Yeah.
Well, the idea was that Cal would hotwire the truck, and then we would both drive off. But I don't know what goes wrong during that phase.
I think what goes wrong is when you like infiltrate this garage area. There is a lot of trucks there, but whenever you but because of heightened security everywhere, apparently there's some sort of convoy going on. So security is just all over the place. So I think every time you try to go hotwire a truck, there's always just the telltale sound of either guards or drones and whatnot. So you have to keep moving from truck to truck until you do manage to like hotwire one from the very back, for sure. But I'm just gonna montage it out. I think there was probably some sort of fiery like escape, having to drive out through this garage of like other trucks. So you're gonna get a truck, but it's battered to bits. I think you roll into the other two with this truck, and there's scorch marks. It's missing some important model work. So like, I'll still give you the truck, but you don't know if it's going to be fit for purpose. It looks like one armored sedan can plow through it fairly well, and I think in that ensuing scenario, I think both of you are going to take harm. And I'm not gonna roll the harm move, but for now, because this is part of the operation. But yeah, I think you two of you took harm in that scenario. Cool. Anyone else want to do any more legwork? I'll tell you right now, the legwork clock is at 2200. That's gonna be complicated. I will say though, you did determine the route and the point of capture is the tunnel, so mark another experience. For sure. All right. Okay. Anyone else want to do anything in legwork, or should we move on to action?
I kind of do.
Okay.
Yeah. We cannot, it will be too dangerous.
Rip off the band-aid, let's get over with.
Yeah. I just want to do some research to figure out what is going on with Delicis, Salvation Incorporated, and Funsoft.
Okay. All right. How are you doing this research?
Let's see. It's databases, dossiers, libraries. I'm just gonna search news archives and do some like investigation and extrapolation.
Okay, that's fair. That seems safe. It seems fine. All right, you're gonna roll. All right, let me scroll up this sheet. Yeah, roll with mind.
+2. Here we go. Reroll. That's a 5.
Oh my god, I can't believe. Okay, good thing is I still get to answer your question, but I do get to make a move. So what's the question?
Well, I guess it's got to be. Oh, who it's related to?
What is the relationship?
Yeah, what is the relationship between
Delicious and Salvation? Or
yeah, well, no, because I think their relationship is kind of obvious because they're sort of like like Delicis is like organic and Salvation is like maybe not. I think maybe what's the relationship between. I just want to know more of what's the relationship between Funsoft and Salvation Incorporated. That one doesn't make sense to me.
okay, all right. So here's what you'll find in the archives. You find like probably like some press releases when Funsoft was just starting out. Okay, yeah, we're releasing this mobile game, the Squirrels Who Squabbled, or something like that. And there is a name. There's a name that you find that's quite familiar. The name of there's a programmer, the Squirrels Who Squabbled, and a bunch of other mobile games that Funsoft worked on. Their name is Max Silk, and you recognize that name because you've seen his face. He preaches a lot in the hologram, their hologram kiosks that Salvation Incorporated have. Rue knows that person as well. So you won't find any obvious links, but that's the main link is that this guy, who's now a reverend in SI, did work in Funsoft before, so that's the connection there. And then I get to make a move because you failed.
Don't feel obligated to.
No, I mean I get to make a move as hard as I want. I mean, okay, just because things have gone bad for you, I think. Hold on, let me look at your moves. The reporter moves. You're not working on a story at the moment, are you?
Yeah. I think I kind of misunderstood the story noise one, but I mean, I guess my story is like I want to expose Chrome Rat.
Okay. Okay, I think here's the move. You step out of the library, and just waiting out there is okay. Since you created a corporation, tell me, do Salvation Incorporated, do they brand their cars? Do you think? So like a specific branding on them?
Yeah, absolutely. I think every single one of them is silver, and it has like the equivalent of that fish. You know what I mean? It doesn't need to be that, right? But yeah, this like very simple line shape that is just like iconic.
Nice. Yeah, I think one of those cars is like just parked right outside the library you're working at, and there's a person leaning against it. They don't look like Salvation Incorporated. They're wearing what I call a Secret Service kind of suit, with big black tie. They got these black gloves. It's a woman with like short, slick back red hair and sunglasses on, and she looks at you and just says, "You're making a lot of noise. Don't you know that?"
That's just a little background research for a news story. It's totally harmless.
I like to believe you, as a journalist, don't really believe there's such a thing as harmless information. You're not. We know you, Spider. You're not the type to write about bake sales or the latest vloggers, book report, or whatever the hell, harmless journalists do.
Well, there was a really fascinating story this one time on the front lines where a soldier had baked these brownies, and it turned out he put bombs in them.
That sounds incredibly tragic.
You couldn't imagine.
Does she at least smile?
No. No. She really does. She doesn't. I think she puts a hand inside her coat and takes out like a business card, and she says like, "Well, however noisy you get, us at SI know how hard you and your what's the name of your group? Pivot Media?
Yeah.
Yeah. They work quite well, and us at SI are always looking for ways in which to broadcast our message. Ever fancy working for a church, Spider?
Can't say I do.
I think they hold up their business card. You can see it's a Pivot Media their business card. Well, that's to say you might not get a choice anytime soon.
Well, guess I better move fast on this story, huh?
Let's see how fast you can run then, Spider. And they're going to get back in the car. So no mechanical moves are going to happen. I'm just showing you the barrel of the gun. All right. Does anyone else want to do anything? I'm so sorry. This dice roller room has screwed you all over. All right. Tell me how each of you tell me how you're positioned around this tunnel as we move on to action.
So I think Rue parked her Mustang on the curbs of the after the exit of the tunnel, and she also positioned the truck. Like I imagine that there's like what's it called? How do you call the side of a road when it's going up with brusheries and
the curb? Oh, just the side.
Yeah, and so there's the truck parked a bit higher, and her plan is if the last or the last sedan passes, she will drive the truck to block the tunnel.
All right. Okay. Where's everyone else? And we can talk about this out of character to see what kind of plan you all come up with. But like, where's everyone else positioned around this tunnel? Go ahead.
Someone should probably be in the car with Rue.
And it should be the one with the fucking fuck off shotgun.
Well, I think Rue's car has a fuck off shotgun, so and missile launcher and shit. So
that is true. The most fuck off of shotguns.
Rue is also a shotgun, but I mean, it's never bad to have too many shotguns.
Okay, sure. Where is Fox?
I think maybe at the block. If we're blocking the convoy, it'd maybe be at the front.
Okay. In front where?
In the road, just to stop the convoy.
Okay, cool. And Spider.
Okay, I think that I'm in like full media mode, and I am like hiding right now, waiting to like jump into the scene as like press. It all hits off, I can like be there and like support where I can, but under this guise of like media protection or whatever. I've got like a bulletproof. Well, I don't have a bulletproof vest, but I have a vest that has like media on it.
All right. Okay, cool. All right. So you're all set and prepared. Let me double check your action, how your action clocks are. See how prepared they are. Nope, that's not it. No. Sorry, give me 1 second. All right, so I'll tell you right now, action clock. I mean, you can see it. It's at 1800. Okay. Okay. Here's what happens. So your plan is like when the last sedan comes into the tunnel, you're gonna block it. Okay, cool. So time kind of like ticks on, and I mean, if you want to like get a conversation in or two between each other right before this happens, this could totally happen because there's intervals between the sedans, and you know when they're coming. Anyone have any last words you want to say to each other?
So, Spider, you got the name of Reverend Silk, I heard. What's his role in all of this?
Well, he used to be a developer for Funsoft, and then mysteriously left the company. It wasn't fired. Doesn't seem like. So there definitely seems to be interest there. He's one of the more popular personalities broadcasting for Salvation Inc.
Oh, I know that sleazebag. He's the face in my part of the country.
So there's just something weird. And amidst all of this, it was Delisis that hired Bright Eyes. I feel like we're getting caught up in something bigger than ourselves.
Well, let's make sure that we get the VVN.
Do we really want to hand it off to Bright Eyes, though?
Well, first we have to get our hands on it.
All right.
Then we decide what to do with it.
All right. That's true. So pragmatic, Ro.
The first sedan passes by. The next one's in 5 minutes. Second sedan passes by. The next one is in 10 minutes. Anyone have any last words to say before these 10 minutes, or is everyone just so tense now? The third sedan passes by. The next sedan is in 15 minutes.
Cal, do you want to give the VVN to Bright Eyes?
I think we need to see the VVN for ourselves to make sure that there isn't additional information that we can glean from it. It could be a key to a cure. It could have information in it.
Yeah, what if you get infected?
Yeah, I'm careful.
Famous last words.
You hear the sound of a sedan coming into the tunnel. I think we're going to have to turn to Rue. You're in the truck, right, Rue? Of course, we'll be back in 2. All right, we'll wait 2 more minutes. I think the tunnel is 2 minutes long. That's how long it takes for the sedan to get from one end to the other. So just waiting. That's 2 minutes. Actually, no, a 2 minute long sedan would be quite a long. A 2 minute long tunnel would be quite a long tunnel, wouldn't it?
It depends on traffic.
That is true. Yeah, was there much traffic in this tunnel? Probably not, because again, quarantine and an epidemic kind of keeps folks inside, so there's not as much traffic. So I will say that like probably you don't see as many cars as you usually would if things are busy in the sprawl. Yeah.
Still long tunnel, dim neon lighting, flickering
Yeah.
advertisement for salvation.
Yeah.
The salvation fun, soft and delicious all around us.
Yeah. Watchtowers, not too much. All right, cool. So Rue, the last sedan has entered the tunnel. What do you do?
I put the pedal to the metal, I think it's the phrase, and try to ram it.
All right. Okay, so this is, let me see what move this is. I think this is an act under pressure. I don't know if you're not. Oh wait, no, you're mixing it up. You're using violence to seize an object. So you're hitting the sedan, right?
Yeah.
All right. And so, but once you hit it, like this truck is used up, so to speak. I don't think it could take more. After the off-screen high energy adventure you and Cal had. All right. So mix it up is okay. So objective is to ram into the van. You're gonna roll plus meat.
Oh no, that is a 7, but I'm pretty sure my meat is -1.
It's a 0.
Oh, it's 0, so it's a 7 to 9.
Cool. On the 7+, you're going to achieve your objective, but on a 7 to 9, you're going to choose 2. You make too much noise, advance the relevant mission clock. You take harm as established by the fiction, an ally takes harm as established by the fiction, or something of value breaks.
I mean, it almost makes sense if me and Cal take harm.
So okay, yeah. So you and an ally will take harm. Are you okay with that, Cal?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Cool. So I think yeah. So the truck screams in and smashes against the sedan, and the sedan is kind of like going to be flung forward. It's going to smash against like a wall and whatnot. But I think it's an armored sedan, so it just kind of hits the two of you again. I think you're going to take another just one harm. But both of you are going to have to roll the harm move now. So when you suffer harm, even 0 harm or S harm, lower the harm suffered by the level of your armor, if any. So actually, yeah, if you're suffering 1 harm, do you have armor that can negate that?
I do. I have 1 armor.
Oh, hell yeah. All right, so...
I have 0 armor, but it does say remove 1 from the harm when rolling the harm move. Subtract 1 when rolling the harm move.
Yeah, when rolling the harm move. But you're still gonna roll harm suffered because the two of you have been hit by harm. Even though you've been negated the harm with the armor, you've still been inflicted with you still suffered harm. So technically, so you're gonna roll the harm moves. You're gonna roll harm suffered.
Okay, so I rolled the 10. Actually an 11 with my I had harm from before. So I choose 1.
Yeah.
I'm going to choose take the full harm of the attack before it was reduced by armor. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So you're just gonna take that harm.
Yep.
Cool. What about you, Rue?
I rolled a 7.
All right. On a 7 to 9, I will choose 1. And the 1 is someone gets the drop on you. So here's what happens. The sedan is clearly out of action. You've smashed it against a wall. The two of you are sitting in the truck being like, hell yeah, we've done this. But I think you hear the buzzing of drones in the sky, and 2 drones kind of like come into view in front of you in the window. And these are like, the last movie I watched was that Spider-Man movie, so all drones kind of look like that. But no, I think they're like, yeah, this bulky, like boxy sort of drones, and yeah, I think you know that, and I think popping out from like some of these boxes are like what clearly gun barrels. So the two of you are surrounded by the drones for now. I do want to turn to you, Cal, because you're not done anything. Do you want to do anything, or?
Yeah. So I think this is what I want to do. As we hit the sedan, I want to pop out.
Mm-hmm.
I then want to run up to the sedan and level my shotgun whistler at the window. And I think what we see on screen is in the boots that I'm wearing, they, not projectiles, but spikes extend into the ground to provide extra stability. And I just pull the trigger on auto fire to get through the window to blast a big hole, and I'm tossing in a gas grenade inside, and then backing off. Whenever I see the drones come into place, I'm going to holler, keep the drones off of me, into my cyber comms.
Hell yeah, cyber comms. Hell yeah. This is an act under pressure, because that is a badass action sequence you did. You're still gonna do it, but the roll is gonna tell me if you do it very well or if complications happen. So that is with cool.
I got an 8.
Hell yeah. So on 79, you stumble, hesitate, or flinch. The MC will offer you a worse outcome, hard bargain, or ugly choice. So you shout, keep the drones off me, yeah? Let's see. Worst outcome, hard bargain, or ugly choice. Okay. Here's what happens. You toss in the gas grenade, right?
Right.
You hear coughing in the inside, but when the sedan doors open and steps out this guy in this armored guy, like flak armor and whatnot. It's like big, bulky black suit, and he's wearing a gas mask.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go to Fox. Fox, you're seeing all this happen. Rue is now surrounded by 2 drones. What do you do?
I'm gonna open fire on the drones with a heavy pistol, heavy revolver.
Hell yeah! So that is a mix it up for sure. Roll plus meat.
I think my meat is +1, so I'm rolling the purple dice. So that's a 9.
Cool. Anyone want to help? Is there any way Spider can help?
I think so, but it depends how far we want to stretch our powers. Because I think there's at some point I come out and start broadcasting all of this as this reporter figure. So if there's a way, maybe I have a small drones of my own or something, like camera drones. So those could fly in the way or something. As an obstacle.
Okay. Your succession of failed rolls have made me sympathetic to your cause. I'm gonna let you do that. So roll, but you have to roll to help. So roll plus 6 with Fox.
I get a +1, so don't fail me now, welfare party. Jesus, it's a 5.
Oh my god.
4 camera drones.
Yeah. No, well, Fox still gets a 7 to 9, but yeah, you shoot off your camera drones, and you're gonna let's see, what is the fail state rail? Okay, it's still a failure, so that basically means I get a move. Okay, here's what happens: you fire your camera drones, and you hear a car parked behind you, and you turn around. It's one of the sedans. They've turned back and come around, because the thing is, the part of all the rolls with the legwork phase up the action clock, and the action clock phase as the start is your target is in full alert. They knew this was happening, hence the guy with the gas mask. They were shitty enough to let you think you were going to do it by letting you smash into the last car. But let's go back to Fox. You got a 79 on mix it up, so you're going to choose to make too much noise, take harm as established, ally takes harm, or something of value breaks.
I'm gonna make too much noise, advance the mission clock, take harm as established.
Okay. So yeah, I think you are gonna get. I think your shot. Let's see. What the hell is it? How much does your revolver do? It's 3 harm. Close, near, loud. Yeah, I think your shot is gonna blast through one of the drones, and there's two. There's two right in front of Rue. But I think what it does is like it activates the self-defense sort of mechanism inside the other drone, and it sees it like, okay, Rue's not a target. This guy shooting at us is the target. So I think it's gonna turn, and just as the one of them kind of explodes, the other drone kind of like zooms past the explosion, like firing shots at you. So it's take harm as established, the other one you picked, right?
Yeah.
So, all right. So because of the explosion, because you took out the drone, its shot is a bit askew, so you're only going to take 1 harm. Do you have any?
I have the armor that gives me a minus to the roll. So
Okay. Cool.
So I
mark 1 harm, and then you're gonna roll the harm move.
Yeah. I'm not gonna roll those green dice because
the green dice have not been good to any of you.
that's a 5, which is good in a harm roll.
Oh, okay, yeah. Maybe you should roll the green dice when rolling harm. There we go. Yeah. So yeah, I think you are just gonna like you're gonna. How do you dodge? Oh, hold on. You're taking a phone call. Come to you then, Rue. So here's the scene. I don't know if you noticed that Spider is now, Sedan is now with Spider. What you see is Cal going toe to toe with this armored gas mask motherfucker, but you can see there's gas inside the car, and the door has been opened. What do you do, Rue?
So, like one of the drones is taken out of commission, I think.
Yes, and the other one is now going after Fox.
Okay, so I have a free range, so to speak.
Mhm.
But Rue is already thinking about getting away. She trusts Cal that he will deal with the situation. He's a tough nail. So Rue will run up the side of the street to get into her car.
Oh, into her car.
Mhm.
Okay, all right.
And then the idea is to drive then by, pick up all the crew, and hopefully ride into the sunset.
Okay, I think you're gonna get into the car, no problem. But I think as you get out of the truck to get to your car, which I assume is parked nearby, I think actually no, it's fine. I think I'll let you get into the car. There's nothing getting in the way because again, attention is on Cal. The drones are off him technically. It's just he caught other attention. So I'll let you get in the car, and we'll come to Cal. So this guy, he's got a lot of armor on, and he pulls out a shock baton, like just like extends out his baton, and it crackles electricity. That's probably not what real shock batons look like, but what the hell? We're in a cyberpunk future. Part of the aesthetic is trying to look cool, but yeah, he's got a shock baton on you. Oh, not on you, but like, what do you do?
So, I have Whistler that I blasted a hole through the window with, and it's linked. So I think it swivels to point at him. I take the edge of it and lean into the back end of the car and just open fire directly at him on auto fire. And I think you see the back end of the car kind of crumple from the pressure as the shotgun fires.
God, that shotgun is ridiculous. All right. You're not even trying to like play hardball him. You just want to shoot him. So that's a mix it up.
Yeah. That is an 7.
Cool. All right. So on a 7 to 9, again, you can choose 2. Something of value breaks, take harm, ally takes harm, or make too much noise.
Let's see. I'll take harm.
Okay, cool. And what's your choice?
Let's see. I don't think there's an ally nearby who could take harm from this. What could be valuable that could break?
Yeah. You don't want to break the thing you came here to get. Oh, let me just close the curtain. The sun's getting in my eye. Yeah, what could be of value? Let's see. What do you have on you?
Grenades, gun, toolkit, pistols.
Yeah, I don't know, because you're gonna shoot this guy, and you're gonna take harm. I would say.
Can I say, if Rob's okay with it, can we say that an ally takes harm and that the drone shoots the ally, or shoots Fox?
I said Fox gets shot again.
What do you think?
I mean, it makes sense.
Okay, all right. For Rob. So, okay, here's the nice thing about this shock baton. It only deals S harm, as in stun harm. So you're actually not gonna take any harm, but you're still gonna roll the harm move. But you're not gonna take like a clock in the harm. And I think he'll manage to reach to zap you as you shoot him in the chest. So yeah, roll plus harm taken.
So I rolled a 4. I think I've taken 2 harm. Okay, so that makes it a 9.
Wait, you rolled a 4 and a... Wait, hold on.
I rolled a 7.
Oh, okay.
Plus 2 is 9.
All right. Okay. So on the 7 to 9, the MC will choose 1. Okay, here's what happens. You shoot him, and let me see, your Whistler stats are... Jesus Christ. You cave his chest in, basically. He'll still get you with stun harm, but like... Turns out, no, all that armor ain't worth shit against this Whistler thing. So he'll be knocked back. You weather through the stun baton, but I think as you're kind of like weathering through the stun harm, you'll see that like the doors on the other side of Sudan can like open up, and you see a figure run, holding something, but trying to run out into the streets. So you'll lose your track. Well, not lose track, but like your target's getting away.
Right.
Cool. So let's see. We've done Rue and we've done Cow. Fox,
and of course, I'll radio all that out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. For sure. Let's come to the Spider. How are you doing? There's a sedan near you now. I'll give you a chance to do something before stuff. Oh, go on, Fox. Sorry.
Do I need to roll harm? Because...
Oh, yes. Yeah, you still need to roll harm. Sorry, you did take that phone call. All right.
Sorry about that.
Okay. So it's 8.
All right. I think you are going to lose your footing. I think it's just... Well, you got the attention of the drones. You did exactly as Cal wanted. But I think the drones is now firing full force at you, so you're kind of like you're gonna have to like take cover, and you're gonna be pinned down there for a moment. I'll remind you, you have hold where you can ask a research question at any time, including in the middle of this.
And we have gear.
Yes, everyone has access to that gear. You have a lot of gear, and yeah, what gear does basically it gets you a piece of gear that can hopefully help you out. That's cyberware. It's not useful. Okay, cut back to you, Spider. Give you a moment to try something, but this sedan has kind of pulled up near you.
I think that I think amidst all this chaos, maybe I spot Rue making the run for her car, and I want to try and like basically just link up with Rue and get in that car. The end goal here is to do some first aid, maybe. And help out that way.
Okay, this is an act under pressure, for sure.
Is this? Oh, it's cool, but I'm a war correspondent. Oh wait, no, I'm not in physical harm.
I would say you're in physical harm because the sedan door is about to open up, and you see like the glint of a barrel, literally the barrel of a gun. I'm showing you the barrel of a gun. So you're in physical harm.
I got an 11. Finally.
Oh. Did you roll the green dice?
No.
All right, cool. All right, you're gonna do it, no problem. So you're gonna make the run, and yeah, you're gonna get into the car with Rue.
Yeah. Rude. This doesn't seem like it's going to plan.
Well, we have to make the best out of this. The guy with a VVN is running over there. Let's get him.
Okay. So Rob asked a question to chat. Oh, so you have 1 intel. So you can spend that intel to reveal something about the enemy's preparations. And you're gonna take +1 forward acting on that answer. Rob's posed a question. Do you want that intel to be used to answer that question? Which is, where would I find the runner? Like the exfiltration course. Are folks okay with that?
Yep.
Okay, so here's probably something like the Rue's taxi driver friend told folks, like likely exfiltration route, and this is the route. This is the route that the guy's taking. And you'll notice in the map, it's like an abandoned part of the Sprawl. In fact, it's right next to a quarantine zone. And you'll see the route. This guy is taking a route going straight into the quarantine zone.
Do you want to do that first aid thing quick?
Where's that move? First aid. Oh yes. Do you have the appropriate medical equipment?
Is everyone cool with me spinning a gear to have it?
Of course.
Cool.
All right.
Roll plus cool, which should be 0. Yes. Loving using all my stats that I did not put my numbers into. It's a 9. Look at this.
All right. So on a 7 to 9, you're gonna just reduce the harm by 1 segment.
Yeah.
And you're not over 2100. So Rui, your harm gets reduced.
Like patching you up as you're like driving. I imagine this a sort of like, stop it, get away from me.
Yeah.
Like, don't put the bandage.
Yeah. I think we reached the point where, like, I think the other two, Cal and Fox, you can get into the car as well. Well, Fox is under fire, but I'm just gonna say, I don't know. You shoot the thing with a missile launcher. I don't know. Actually, no. Let's respect the fiction. Cal, you're free to get in the car. All the folks in Sedan are still gassed up, except for the guy who ran off. Fox is pinned down by a drone. I think because the 3 of you are fine. I think fictionally you can just shoot the drone and save Fox.
Yeah, I imagine that Rue just drives up and then maybe Spider kicks the door open or something, and Fox can jump in with or without us, like actually destroying the drones.
Yeah, I'll let you have that. Like fictionally, you're in a big fuck off Mustang. You can totally do that.
Nice. Can I spend a gear as we speed away from this tunnel? Spend a gear for explosives to blow the tunnel.
Everyone okay with that? All right. So, what exactly are you trying to accomplish with this? Is it
to a certain extent, it's to cover our tracks a little bit, to cause a little bit of confusion, so that maybe they'll dig in there and look for stuff, and make sure that nobody comes after us.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's fair. All right, it's good to cover tracks. So I think you're gonna. I think to catch up with a guy before he gets to the quarantine zone, and I think it looks like there shouldn't be a way because it's a quarantine zone. But I think part of what the intel tells is that there are still gaps where we can slip in, and this is where this guy's trying to slip in. I think Rue, you're gonna have to drive real fast. He got a head start because he'll have drones and other things to take care of. And actually, the explosives are a good thing to do because, like, I don't know, that there's that sedan that Spider managed to avoid. All right, Rue, you're gonna have to make a. I think it's an act under pressure. You're gonna roll cool plus your car's power because you're jacked into your car.
Nice. So my cool is, let's see, 0. but the power of the car is 2. So let's take the green dice just for shits and giggles.
Okay.
And it's 6 plus 2 is an 8.
Okay. Okay. Cool. You're flying close to the sun there, Horst, but all right, cool. So on the 7 to 9, you stumble, hesitate, or flinch. The MC will offer your worst outcome, hard bargain, ugly choice. Okay, so here's kind of like why there's a bit of hesitation. The kind of like the streets where this guy's taking, he's ducking through alleyways and whatnot, and you're trying to head them off. So it's a lot of like, how does Rue drive? And how does just so like everyone gets a sensation of like what's like to be in a car where Rue's driving.
So first of all, Rue has like a plaid skirt and like sneakers, and it's like when you drive a Mustang, it's a lot of like the shifting gears, the very abrupt handbrake turns. So it's a very aggressive way of driving, but she looks pretty relaxed doing it.
Nice. I assume everyone's having the ride of their life in the car. Okay. You know what? Because of time. Okay, here's what happens. You cut off this person. Actually, you make him run into like an alleyway. And I think the alleyway is blocked. So like folks can like get out of the car and go down this alleyway. And I think you'll hear a rather hoarse voice going, stay back. Stay back. And I think when you see I think of them, they're wearing like quite tattered sort of clothes, and their arm is in like a sling, and on the cradle of the sling is like this small like black box, and you know that's the VVN, and they've got this like crazed kind of like look in their eyes. They're wearing like what looks like a nice corporate suit, but it's tattered and sweaty because you made them run so fast. But here's the thing you notice coming out from the arm. You notice that it's like it's a cybernetic arm, but it's like slack on the string, as if like on the sling, as if like it's not moving or anything. And he pulls out like a gun, and I think he's like a sweaty, straggly, like greasy black hair. And then he'll pull out a gun. It's like, stay back, unless you want to get infected. I'd suggest you stay back. You're muted, Darren. You said something.
I was just saying, poor guy. But yeah, I'll talk to him too. Be like, hey, listen, we're trying to put a stop to this. Just hand over the box.
But you don't think we're trying to put a stop to this as well?
But delivering it to salvation, I have to say no. I don't think so.
But they're our only hope. They're the only ones who know how to stop this.
Are you sure they didn't infect you with it?
I think this is gonna be a role. You're fast talking this person. You're not threatening violence, so this is not hardball.
No. So plus style. Okay.
Yeah.
Stylish? I think I'm a little stylish. Yeah. I don't know why I cannot remember any of these stats.
That's fine.
A 12. I'm very stylish.
Wow. Nice. So, all right. Ooh, okay. All right. 10 plus. Please just do what you want. I think he lowers the gun and he says like, no, they didn't infect me, but they do know how to stop it. I know they do. I found it in the archives. I know they can. Wait, who are you working for?
Working for ourselves.
Now that the other three react to that, because you're working for some. Well, I guess you were talking about what you wanted to do with that.
if you found the cure in the archives, why haven't you cured yourself yet?
Okay, it's not really a cure. It's a means to get the cure. Okay, it's we this thing, and he tries to reach for the thing when he realizes he's holding his gun, and he just drops it. His other arm is inoperable. It's just because it's just on a sling. They take out like the black box. Don't worry, he just dropped the gun. He's not gonna do anything. But like, yeah, it's like this. This is kind of where it all started. I assume that's why you're here, and I did the research. It started with this game, and I think it's like a small like black box that's kind of like shaped like an SNES cartridge, kind of like that. And there's like a sticker of like the art of the game on it, and the game is called The Road to Hope. Just like a road leading to like a sunny sky art on the box, and this guy says like, this is where it started, and there were folks at Funsoft who they didn't want it getting out, who made this game and where it came from. But I figured out who made this game. I figured it out, and they can help us. I know they can help us. In fact, I talked to SI, and they said they were willing to. The programmer made this game. They're in SI, and they were willing to take this off our hands. They can make the cure. They're the only ones who can. Okay.
Don't be a fool. It's Silk, isn't it?
Yeah. Maximilian Silk. Yeah. He's the one. He can save us. I know he can.
But he's the one who programmed it.
So he's the only one who can stop it.
Why would he?
He says he wants to help people.
If he wanted to help people, then why did he make it in the first place?
So you got 12 on that fast talk. So you're not under threat. This guy's not gonna destroy it. So I think you say that, and I think his face kind of goes slack with this like confusion and fear and it's a horrible cocktail of emotions. And I think he drops the game. Don't worry, it's a sturdy box. It's not going to break. He drops the game, and he's just like, well, what are you going to help people then? You want this, right? What the hell are you going to do with it?
Find a way to put a stop to this.
I think he's not a threat. He just kind of like slumps to his knees, I guess. There's nothing he can do. The four of you got him cornered.
I use my hold together evidence.
Ooh, okay. Hell yeah, of course you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Plus mine.
Because this is the end of the session, I'm gonna say right now, if you do really well, you're just gonna break the story. Because this is a big explosive story.
Yeah, I got an 11.
Hell yeah. So I think we're just about time. I think we're probably gonna go into like epilogues now, and you can tell me how this story breaks and whatnot. All right. So I think we'll end this mission with a shot of like you taking the device. He's crying. What is his name? I should give him a name. His name is Clark. Nice chap. But yeah. Oh yeah, you get XP. You finished the mission. You acquired the black box and you've ended the mission, so you get 3 XP. And obviously we don't have the calculator because we're finishing off. So I just wanted to point it out because it's funny. But yeah, I think we're going to epilogues then. Anyone have an idea of what last snapshot of their character as we wrap up.
I have a question first for everyone. Do we give the virtual novel to Bright Eyes? No.
I want to say no.
Yeah, I don't trust them.
I think I trust this Clark guy
Hmm.
to do research because he seems desperate and wants to do it. And I suggest, so I think we should look for a cure with it because he thinks it's possible.
Into that.
So you're gonna keep the game and break the story that this is all FunSoft's fault. This specifically Max Silk's fault that this Chrome rot thing. Or no, I'll ask you how the story breaks because you got an 11. I'll say that after I shouldn't determine. But yeah, are people down with Cal's suggestion? Find the cure.
Yep.
Cool. All right. So yeah, what's the last shot we see of each character?
So before the cure is made, assuming we were able to do that, I'm gonna get a hold of Max Silk. By some means, infect him with chrome rot and leave a gun with him. You choose. And I leave.
God. Nice thing with epilogues, you just get full narrative control. That's fine. It's fine and good.
And I think that we see Cal back in his workshop, and he's been working on the rot for a while. And he's working on finding a cure along with Clark. I think that's Clark spelled with a 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Clark's, working on it with him, and Clark is infected, so he's the conduit. So Cal isn't touching it, but he's working and using his expertise to try and figure out how to find a cure. And I think I'd like to see some of that information, be broadcast publicly. Anything that we find out, go into the broadcast. So I think this is your scoop.
Cool.
Yeah, I think the broadcast. I think actually. I think for Spider, what it is I sell exclusive streaming rights to Pivot, so I kind of pay off my debts to them, and I think I organize a sort of anonymous live streaming thing so people can see. It's all open source, publicly available, but identities are hidden, so people can see these tests being run, progress being made, and sort of this stick it to the man approach. Nothing proprietary.
Nice. Right. What's the last we see of Rue then?
The last we see of Rue is it's like a Route 66 situation. There's a board saying Crystal Church, and we just see the missile launcher moving outside of the car.
I think that's a great image to end it. And that was the Sprawl. Thanks so much for playing. You folks have been fantastic players. Thanks so much. Thanks for rolling with all the bad rolls. Surviving it to the end. You folks have been great. I always like to get down the broadcast. The players of the Gauntlet are a fantastic bunch. And anyone who gets to play with them are very lucky indeed. So that's it for this game. I'm going to end the broadcast and we can debrief and talk about stars afterwards. But I'll say goodbye to YouTube. Bye.